Welcome back, everyone, to Lore of the Shadow, where we are back here in Enedwaith again after we saved Fusi's father. So let's see what he thinks.
My father is back. He spoke well of your performance within the ruins.
My father's been in deep conversation with one of the rangers here. I think they want him to make something, but what it is, I have no idea. That ranger, Roddenir, might be able to tell you more. Alright, I will speak to Roddenir. So, sorry about that. Out this way. Ah! Down here.
Ah, now I know why Halberod wanted us to rescue this phony gem cutter.
I have just been talking to Halberad, and now that this whole affair with the gem cutters makes sense to me. I now know why Halberad thought that this delay was necessary. He has a commission for Funi Gem Cutter, a task for which Funi is well suited. He wants Funi to make an imitation of the Ring of Barahir. You've got to be kidding me.
Halberod can tell you more, but I agree with him. What chance is this?
What chance is it that puts a wandering jewel crafter right here in our path at this moment? He is right. It is a small chance surely, but a happy one. Talk to Halbrad here in Enedwaith and learn more about the plan. Alright? So, let us find Halbrad and let's learn what this is all about. Here he is.
Our only aim is to help the heir of Isildur in any way that we can.
Thank you, Pinelore. The line of the Isildur is recognized by the heirlooms of that house, the shards of Narsil, now reforged, the scepter of Anuminus, long kept in Rivendell, and the ring of Barahir, almost lost in Forhel but regained. I believe that you have heard the story. And now, this great company rides to the defense of Aragorn to the southern lands increasingly under the sway of the Uruk. Danger crowds around us on every side, but our own safety must be secondary to that of Aragorn. Imagine, therefore, if a member of our company is slain or taken captive by the enemy. If that man bore a ring of the same description as the ring of Barahir, would that not give his captor pause? I have therefore made this proposal to Funi Gemcutter, to craft rings so like of the ring of Barahir, based on Candace's description, that should any of this company fall into the hands of the enemy, it may now sow confusion into his mind. This confusion may buy the true heir precious time. Tell me when you're ready, and we will go with Funi to the forges that he will use. Oh my joy. I guess we should go then.
A skilled jewel crafter has crossed our path, and Halberod has devised a curious plan for him. He wants imitations made of the ring of Barahir borne by Aragorn for each Dunedain in our company.
Funi Gemcutter has been working hard within, melting gold with which to fashion quality imitations of the ring borne by Aragorn, our chieftain. Candace learned, in lore as he is, described the ring to Funi, and the dwarf has pledged that his reproductions will deceive all but the most studious observers. Whoa, what's this? Oi! You there! Yes? The work goes well, Pinelore. Already some of the rings have been made, and they are identical to the description with which the father was provided. But the gold is running low. Very little gold is needed for each ring, of course, but my father can use only small quantities of the material when it is melted, or imperfections will arise. Bring some coffers of gold to me where they have been stored. Okay. Okay, here are the coffers. There are 3 coffers here. I guess the 4th one was the one that they were using before. There you go. 1 coffer. Alright. Now. Oh, hi there, Condaith. The ring making goes well? Good. I gave the jewelsmith a description of the ring of Barahir as I remembered it. And if he has the skill that he claims to have, his imitation should be suitable. Elro here wanted me to send you to him, if you had a moment. He's contemplating our plans beneath the tree in the courtyard to the north of here, if you would speak with him. Alright, fine. Elro here is in the courtyard. Let's go to Elro here. I'll assume through this door. One son of Elrond. The crafting of the rings sought by Halbrand go well? Good. If those preparations give our enemies even the slightest pause, the time they take would be counted 5 and 7 times its value. Over here pauses a moment, thinking, and then takes it into his confidence. Before we left Imladris, my father gave the messages for Aragorn, confident that he would understand them. But I too understand their meaning, and that understanding fills me with worry. He bade me to remind Aragorn of the words of the sea Malbeth at the paths of the dead. And I let you know, suddenly, his shout breaks out in silence, and Elrahir leaps to his feet. Oh. What's that? Someone's in trouble! Whoops. Well, let's find out. Oh. Someone's exhausted, it looks like. Hello, Halros. Pinelor, a party of warring Uruks has climbed the path of the place, and I have seen others in the distance. I will not be long before they arrived. Halros grabs your arm, desperate for something else. Guladir stayed behind. He told them to stay back. Help! Help him! All right, fine, I shall help him. That would be this way. Ah! Uruks! And Guladir. Despair not, Pinelor. We will defeat these Uruks, or we will delay them for as long as necessary for the remainder of our company to complete their task for which they have come to these forges. All right. What do you say about that? I have told you once already, Uruk. Go away. Ha ha ha! Good joke. You two, teach them the dangers of posting to Kuftak the Ninkoth. Yeah. Alright, there you go. Ah. Is that the best you can manage? You impudent! I thought I smelled man flesh here. Or that... Sargon, what are you doing here? The Ninkoth have this in hand. That's not what I see. Show these weaklings your bare teeth. And... whack. That. Now my Ninkoth shall attack. Oh my goodness gracious. Like they did anything good before. Well, together we can slay them, Kufbot. We will put our differences aside today, alright? You're right. These can only done together. What do you hope you can do? You will be the first to die. Great company! Attack! Oh boy. Well, so much to this guy. Let that be a lesson to you. Together, the strength of the Dunedain cannot be overcome. Alright. According to Fusi Gemcutter, his father's work is going well and smoothly. With no more interruptions, I feel that we will soon see an end to this delay. Halbrad laughed softly, a sound that has been missing from the journey of the Grey Company, unnoticed until now. I say delay, but I feel better for having a secret held in our reserve. Let our foes mill about in confusion, while the true heir of Isildur makes stealth and ally. It's good to be doing something. It's good to be doing something. Yes, it is. So is all settled now?
May this work prove to have been unnecessary in the end. Fervently I hope it is so.
But it is done, and I hope that this was just a momentary delay that will never be needed. But in the sad event that one of our friends is slain or captured by the enemy, perhaps his Bibarahir will buy our chieftain Aragorn some precious seconds. All of our struggles are for him, for the return of the heir of Isildur, the return of the King of Gondor. We must soon be off again. Our destiny awaits us in the wide south lands. Very well. And I guess I'll just take this cap. If we're fortunate, none of the rings of Bibarahir borne by the rangers of our company will need to serve the purpose for which it was crafted. Even so, I'm glad to have them in the event that they become necessary. A single moment of hesitation on the part of Aragorn's foes could make the difference. It is time again that we ride. Let us cross south into the southern stretches of Dunland. The plains of Enedwaith will be the next stop of our journey. We will take our rest once we cross into the land of Foradrit and northern Enedwaith. Dagras will select the location, and you should speak with Lothrindir when you arrive at Had Dagras to learn the lay of the land. Very well. It is time for us to head south into Enedwaith. Here we are at the river that divides Enedwaith from Eregion. So let's head over and see if we could find this Echad Dagras. And it's nice for once to find a river that can be forded by a hobbit. If I understand the directions properly, the campsite should be in those ruins up there. I just need a way to get up there. Oh, I do see a slope. Well, let's try that. See if there are any signs of habitation up here, or if I am completely off. Alright, I should be seeing signs of rangers sometime soon. Well, there's an elven ruin. That sounds like the type of place where they will set up a campsite. Ah, yes. I see rangers. I see horses. I see the path of the Great Company.
What can I do for you?
Alright, I discovered Ichadagras. And, here we go. Lothrindir.
The men of Dunland are a wild people, and they care little for the Dunedain.
The road south is a long one, Pinelore. You should know something of the land and its people. The men of Dunland are a wild people, and they care little for the Dunedain, and not at all for the men of Rohan. They have warred with Rohirrim and covet still their lands. It is their strongly held belief that those lands belong to the men of Dunland. They are proud and fierce, quick to anger and slow to forgiveness. They tolerate no weakness and are suspicious of outsiders. During my time here in the Southlands, it seemed to me that these men had no identity as Dunlandings, thinking themselves instead as members of their particular clans dominated by a strong, willful leader. Dagras has met already with the members of one such clan, Wadu of the Ukluth. He has set aside his suspicions, for the moment, and you might learn something of his people by speaking with him. All right, I will speak to this Wadu. And what do we do? Well, I will assume that this must be Wadu. Hello there.
You have come with these men, but you are not one of them.
The warning that I gave to this man, this Dagras, I give to you. My people will not allow you to interfere with their lives. You may pass through these lands, but you cannot stay. Strength only do they respect. Strength such as mine, or my father Suvaluch. Even my sister Nona wields the sword, and I wager that she does so with greater skill than any of these Devoniad. Well, I don't know about that.
The Okluth clan will tolerate your presence, but others will be hostile.
These other clans have been given gold and have forgotten their true allegiances. Many of them traveled north into the lands of the Holly, but they have returned. They are cowards or on their own, and they are cowards on behalf of their new master. But these Luth that fight for gold have no loyalty to their former brothers. They fight even the Okluth. For every one of my people they slay, they put a mark of blood on a chip of wood. They believe that their new master will pay them for every one of their kinsmen that they slay. That's an abomination. They have already killed some of my people. Travel to the deserters' camps north of here and deprive them of their blood marks that they have already collected. Recover, too, the weapons of my fallen brothers. I don't want them to be taken by foes. Right, so we want to collect blood marks from Dunlandings and for Deereth and recover weapons of fallen Ukluth. Got it. Then let us go and do some collecting. That is definitely not a Dunlanding, but we may have to deal with a wolf or two while we're out here. No deed, wolf and shadow wolf slayer. Oh yes, the joys of coming to a new area. Oh, a fallen Ukluth. Hey, that's one weapon from a fallen Ukluth. We don't need to go after the Wolverine. Aha. Now, is this a deserter? Or is this an Ukluth? Or is this... Okay. New deed, Dunlanding Slayer. And collected blood marks from Dunlandings and Fordrath. So we're going to find a few of those things, I guess. Oh, oops. There is a fallen Ukluth this way. There you go. Oh, yeah. The deed that we were bestowed for killing a Dunlanding. Well, here's another one. And blast. We don't need to kill the wolves, but it's the principle of the thing. Oops. Another Ukluth. Now, are there any more? Not Ukluth, I mean. Another deserter! Another deserter. No, we don't need Kazakh. We don't need branches. Oh well. Alright. Oh, I see another body up ahead. And behind that, there is another one of those, probably the person who killed him. And of course, there is the wolf. Goodbye! And before long, we should have everything that we need. Here are the weapons and blood marks you requested.
These other clans are no longer of my stock. They are like orcs now.
It brings me no joy to see these marks, nor to receive these weapons, for they are reminders of the Ucluth that have fallen and the greed of these people that were once my kin. But no more. These other Luth are no longer of my stock. They are cowards, slaves to gold, and are no longer men. They are like orcs now, and the brave Ucluth will treat them like orcs. You will continue to do so? Good. You are not one of us, but you will be a friend to my family. Perhaps we will compare the tallies of the slain when all of Dunland is united again and from under the strong rule of the Ucluth. I look forward to that time. Tell your Devoniad friends that they have done for Wadu. I will am not certain about them, but about you I have made up my mind. Your strength of will is like to mine, and you are made of similar stuff, strong as the stones of Dunland. All right. I'm not too sure Lothar will agree with that, but I suppose we'll find out in a moment.
Perhaps Wadu's respect for you will help us as we work with his people.
Wadu at least seems to be pleased with you. If his family ruled the Ucluth, perhaps our road south would be easier. Sadly, it only appears that his father, Suvuluk, though respected by the Brineen and the Ucluth, are not one of his Breher. Still, respect earned is not respect wasted. Perhaps Wadu's respect for you will help us as we must deal more closely with the Ucluth.
Cyrodion has gone on ahead and established a camp in the Windfells.
What will we find at Saradin's camp? We have to find that out in the next episode of Lore of the Shadow.